Read the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 16.
It's the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 16.
Come on.
For God so loved the world,
Right.
that he gave his only begotten Son,
Right.
that whosoever believeth in him,
That whosoever believeth in him,
that
right?
whosoever believeth in him,
Right.
should not perish, but have everlasting life.
See, the problem is, people read John 3:16 and they don't get no context from it. They don't understand. First of all, give me the book of Isaiah 28 and verse 10.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 10.
Read that.
And it reads, for precept must be upon precept.
What? So read that again.
For precept must be upon precept.
Okay, read.
Precept upon precept. Line upon line.
Line upon line.
Line upon line.
Like we said it twice. Why would the Most High be putting it in the Bible, repeating it? Line upon line, line upon line. Read on.
Here a little and there a little.
Here a little and there a little. Meaning we go from one book to another book to jump into another book to get the whole picture. It's a puzzle that we're trying to figure out, right? Now, Christians, so-called Christians, I say so-called because we're the real Christians. We're the ones who actually truly follow the Bible. We follow the Messiah. We keep his commandments, like he said. But Christians don't actually keep the commandments. They don't read the Bible precept upon precept. They read one verse and they go off their feelings and how they feel about the Bible, right? Now, let's go back to, give me Hebrews, read John 3:16 again.
It's the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 16.
Right.
For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son.
His only begotten Son, go on.
That whosoever.
It says whosoever, see, it's talking about everybody on earth. Go on, read
that
on.
Whosoever believeth in him,
right,
should not perish,
right,
but have everlasting life.
Okay. Now, this is the verse that all Christians know by heart. But if you ask him, what does John 3:14 say? They don't know. Read John 3:14.
It's the book of John, chapter 3, verse 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness.
Lifted up the serpent in the wilderness. Keep read on.
Even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
The same way Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, it's the same way Christ needs to be lifted up. Now, who was in the wilderness with Moses? That's the question now. Go to Numbers 21 and 8. Say that like it?
Numbers 21, yeah?
Can't. Numbers 21 and 8. Bob Kashar.
I'll read from verse 5. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 21 and verse 5. And the people spake against God,
right,
and against Moses,
right.
Wherefore he hath brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness. For there is no bread, neither is there any water.
Right.
And our soul loatheth with this light bread.
Read on.
Loatheth this light bread.
Read on.
Jump to number 8, chapter 8, verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses,
right,
make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass,
right,
that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live.
Everyone that is bitten who looketh upon it shall live. Now, who was that in the wilderness? That was the Israelites in the wilderness. Now, go to Hebrews quickly. Hebrews 1 and 2. Because actually, sorry, Salakia, read John 3:16 one more time.
It's the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son,
right,
that whosoever believeth in him, should not perish,
right,
but have everlasting life.
For God so loved the world. Now, and how many worlds there are there? You're going to ask Christians, they're going to tell you there's only one world, but according to the Bible, there's multiple worlds. Let's get that in Hebrews 1 and 2.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 1 verse 2. Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom hath appointed heir of all things,
right,
by whom also he made the worlds.
He made the what?
The worlds.
Spell that.
worlds.
So according to the Bible, there's multiple worlds. So which world did Christ come and die for? That's the next question. Let's go to, give me Isaiah 45, Isaiah 45 and 17, Bible Krishna.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
Right.
With an everlasting salvation.
Right.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded. World without end.
What is Israel?
World without end.
What is Israel?
World without end.
So Israel is the world that the Most High sent Christ to die for. That's plain upon tables. When you go precept upon precept, the Bible is clear. But Christians don't have this understanding. So-called Christians do not have this understanding. They read the Bible like it's a novel. They read the Bible. Come chat to us. Come chat to us, man.
Can we ask you a question? Quick question. No?
You're afraid of your own brothers with Bibles in their hands.
No?
Come in, man.
Come in. What time?
Get Pastor Stephen. I used to come to this church, you know. Wilfred.
Yeah.
Get Pastor Stephen to come out.
Come in, man. Come in.
Can we ask questions?
Can we ask questions?
Come here, please.
Can we ask questions? I've come to show you guys.
Can we ask you a question, though?
We've come to confound Christians, man. We've come to confound. Because why not? This is edification's sake.
Yeah, you can come in.
What? Can we ask you a question, though?
The question?
Yeah.
We have to ask the pastor.
We have to ask the pastor, no?
Yeah, you can ask him. If I know the answer to him.
Okay, ask him.
So
No recording, man. Why?
You don't want.
Recording.
So you don't want to be recorded.
Yes.
Just
We'll
kidding.
turn
I want Acts 2 and 21 now. About Bishop.
the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21.
Can.
And it shall come to pass.
It shall come to pass.
that
Go on.
whosoever.
There's that word again. Go on.
Whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
That's right. Read on.
Ye men of Israel.
Men of who?
Ye men of Israel.
Right.
Hear these words.
Hear these words. So this is literally about the Israelites. The whole book is about us. And it gets me vexed, you know, when I think like how deceived I was. It's all part of the Most High's plan anyway, but it still gets me vexed to feel like I was lied to for so many years. And I was just blindly following. Like every time I think about it, my heart just boils. It really does, bro. I can't lie. But all praises to the Most High.
How long did it take on the service?
About 2 hours. So it starts at 11, finish at like 1.
I don't think I'll be able to stay here that long.
That's calm, bro.
Maybe we can organise something next time.
Yeah. Maybe before we leave, we'll try and get them set up some time and date. Yeah. Right. Now let's get started this, man. Let's go. Give me Luke 14 and 23.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 14, and verse 23.
Come on.
And it reads, and the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges.
We are the servants, so that's why we're in the highway and edges. We're not going to dwell in those tents, those temples. You know, those people in there asked us to come in, but we're not going in. We want to be out here trying to wake up the lost sheep, the ones that come around. Read on.
Go out into the highways and hedges,
right,
and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled.
That my house may be filled. This is the whole point. For us to bring our people back to this truth. For us to show our people that we're supposed to be keeping the commandments. We're not supposed to be going to church on Sunday, which is sun worship. We're actually supposed to keep the Sabbath, grow our beards, wear our fringes. Go on. I think that's it.
That's it. Got a precept.
Come on, bring it out.
Acts chapter 7, verse 48. I believe that's what it is.
Peaceful just runs for running. You said that, isn't it? just for the sake of it.
Just run because he could run. That's it. No purpose. He just run. But Solomon built him an house.
Right.
Howbeit, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
He does not.
As saith the prophet. Heaven is my throne,
right,
and earth is my footstool.
Right.
What house will ye build me? Saith the Lord. Or what is this place of my rest?
Right.
Can't.
You want to break that down?
I'm saying to back up what you're saying.
That's right. There's no temple made with hands that the Messiah is going to want to dwell in. Especially not a temple that you bring people on a Sunday when he told you to keep the Shabbat. Our people are off, man. Let's go to Isaiah 58 and 1.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1.
Read that.
It reads, cry aloud, spare not,
Right.
lift up the voice like a trumpet,
Go on.
and show my people their transgression.
Nah, all people.
My people their transgression.
Nah, the whole world.
Show my people their transgression.
Show my people their transgression. Why? Because the laws was given to the Israelites. We were the ones given the laws. That's why we're the ones transgressing the laws. The heathens weren't given the laws. That's why they can do whatever they want. The so-called white man can rape, rob, murder, do whatever he wants right now. Right? Because it's his kingdom. But ours is coming. By the grace of the Most High. Hopefully we make it. Can't. Give me 2nd Ezra 1 and 5.
Can't.
That's for sure. Yeah. Oh, you go.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Can't.
Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Read that.
I said, come in.
Yeah, come join in.
No.
Not joining in your devil worship, man, on a Sunday. That's off.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Read that.
Go thy way
Uh-huh.
and show my people
Right.
their sinful deeds.
Nah, show all the people on
Show
earth.
my people
Right.
their sinful deeds.
Why is the Bible still referring to his people? These are possessive pronoun. Because the Mosiah is only dealing with Israel. Give me that in Psalms 148 and 19.
It's the book of Psalms.
Is it 148 or 147?
This is the book of Psalms,
I think 147.
chapter 147
Right.
and verse 19.
Read that.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
We know the word is Christ. We know the word is Christ. With using precept upon precept, we know that Christ came to die for the Israelites only, and that's it. Read that from the top.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
The commandments was given to Jacob. Read on.
His statutes and his judgment unto Israel.
Unto Israel. Read on.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Nah, he's dealt with the Chinese.
He's not dealt so with any nation.
Nah, he's dealt with the so-called
He's
white
not
man.
dealt so with any nation.
Read on.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Right.
Praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Lord. He's not dealt with anybody else. He's chosen Israel. He's made them special. Give me that in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, Baba Kashan.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Right?
For thou art an holy people.
Nah, we're the same.
For thou art a holy people.
Right?
Unto the Lord thy God.
Right?
The Lord thy God has chosen thee.
He's chosen the Israelites
to be a special people.
To be special. What does it mean to be special? You're different. Read on.
To be a special people unto himself.
Right?
Above all people.
Nah, we're equal, bro.
Above all people.
But equality.
Above all people.
God created everybody equal.
Above all people.
That's not in the Bible.
Above all people.
Read on.
That are upon the face of the earth.
Right?
The Lord did not set his love upon thee, nor chose you, because you were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you,
because he loved us,
and because he would keep the oath, which he had shown unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand.
That's right.
And redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
You see that? The Messiah just chose us. And it's not because we did anything right or wrong. Give me that in Romans 9 and I believe start at 10.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born,
weren't even born yet,
neither having done any good or evil.
Read on.
that the purpose of God according to election might stand.
According to election might stand. You see that? So even he elected us. That's why we are the elect. Read on.
Not of works,
No.
but of him that calleth.
That's right, because he decides who he loves and who he hates. Simple as that. Read on. It was said unto her.
It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
The elder, we know the elder was Esau. Give me that in Genesis 25 and 25. The elder shall serve the younger. Right now, we're still serving serving the elder. So it says the elder will serve the younger in the end days. Let's see who the elder is. Let's see who came out first.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 25.
Right.
And the first came out red.
No, hold on. The first came out what?
The first came out red.
Red, right? Read on.
All over like an hairy garment.
Okay.
And they called his name Esau.
Esau. I imagine when they saw him, they were like, Esau! Like, he's red. Right? Read on.
And after that came his brother out.
Right.
And his hand took hold of Esau's heel.
Notice how they didn't even mention Jacob's skin complexion or nothing. They just said he just came out. Because everybody on this earth was melanated at one point. Until Esau came about. The red devil that the Bible speaks about. Read on.
And his name was called Jacob.
Right.
And Isaac was 60 years when she bare him.
Right. You see that? So Esau is the elder. Now let's go back to Romans 9 and I believe we're on 13.
This is the book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 12. And it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
Right. So Esau will serve Jacob.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved.
Jacob have I loved.
But Esau have I hated.
But Esau have I hated. It says as it is written. Where else is it written? In the book of Malachi. Go to Malachi 1 and 4. Precept upon precept. When you do that, it's simple. The Bible is plain upon tables. But when you're mixed up with lies and you're being brought up in Christianity and Islam, it's like it don't even make sense, and you run with it as well because it feels good. But in the end days, the Most High is waking us up, man. The elects are gonna turn around and start keeping the commandments and start rebuking his churches, man. We're gonna do more of this. Bring that out.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord.
Right.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Yeah, we say that. And I used to say that as well. When I was in the world thinking like, oh, why is this happening to me? God don't even love me, man. God, I used to even try to be rebellious. I didn't even know what was going on. I was just being rebellious because I thought, this is not going my way. Bond the Most High.
Confounded himself.
Yeah, bro. I was just thinking, bond the Most High. I'm just going to do what I want. And, you know, all praises to the Most High. He showed me mercy. He didn't kill me.
That's what Christianity will tell you, that, you know, Jesus got rid of the law, so you just do what you want.
Do what you want.
Do what you want,
you see? Because when I was in bro, I turned up to church one time high.
That's that do what you want spirit. Jesus got rid of the law. So now you just do whatever you want.
That's exactly what I'm saying. When I was a Christian, I could not put down the blunt. But as soon as I came down to this truth, it was it.
Yeah, finished.
Once you know it, you know you do that, you're gonna get killed off. Yeah. You know that. So you work circumspect, walk circumspection. But so like read that.
Continue. Wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord?
Was not Esau's Jacob brother? Go on.
Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau.
Nah, I loved Esau.
And I hated Esau.
But everyone's equal.
And I hated Esau.
But God loves everybody.
And I hated Esau.
Plain, God hates Esau. Read on.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragon of the wilderness.
Right. Is that
yeah,
Come on, Tawada. Now let's go back. Let's go to Proverbs 14 and 15.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 15. The simple believeth every word.
The simple believeth every word.
But the prudent man looketh well to his going.
That's right. We're very prudent out here now. We're not just believing everything pastor's saying. We're actually going back and doing our research. And from what we're finding out, is that we're the true biblical Israelites. Right? No, that's Give me 1 Peter 4:11. Love Kusha. It's like it. Hold that. How you doing, sis? Are you going to church? Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you love God?
Yes, I do.
What does it mean to love God? But if you love God, you should know what.
I know.
No. How does God define love? Like, because for example, personally, my wife shows me she loves me when she makes me like a cup of tea in the morning or stuff like that. So according to God, how do we show that we love God? In 1 John 5.
Or like prayer.
By prayer. That's it.
I mean, that's one of the things.
I'll show you. Look, this is in the Bible. I'm not. Listen to this.
You're trying to stop me from going there.
I'm not stopping you. I just want you to read this. I just want you to hear this. That's
You know what? We can't lie. You know what we are, because that we don't believe that God dwells in churches. He's in the Bible. We'll read this to you.
I used to come to CRC, you know. I've learned the truth of the Bible when I left.
This is 1 John. I'm trying to bring them back to what actually the Bible says. It's 1 John chapter 5. And it says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous." And this is after Jesus died.
So how do we show we love God? Read that again.
For this is the love of
Listen,
God,
sis.
that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous.
How do we show that we love God? Keep the commandments. Isn't that
praises.
simple? Now, can we show you 2 commandments? Sis,
All praises.
you believe
After
in God,
church-
but you don't want to hear the word. But you're going to go get lied to in there. Our people
Sometimes you've got to be a
love the
little bit
lie.
subtle though. Can't just ram it down.
I'm just.
We'll become a stumbling
I
block
feel like
and run them away.
I feel like I'm.
You've got to draw them into a conversation.
I know.
Sometimes you've got to just plant that little seed and leave them, let them go.
That's true. I feel like that's why you're the yin and I'm the yang. I just want to chop them up,
No, these are our people, bro. You got to be a little bit more tactful with them, especially our people, because they've been stubborn and hard, stiff necked.
They are.
But so you got to be
that's why the Most High said to cry aloud and to not spare their feelings. You know?
Now you got to draw them in, bro. It's not sparing their feelings, but you got to draw them in. You got to know that they don't want to listen.
Right.
So in order to get them to listen, you got to give them something to think about.
Right.
It's not caring about the feelings. It's just being smart about how to do it.
Yeah.
Get them in. Lock the door.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go in there anyway. You're scared. What are you scared of? You're in the house of the Lord.
They don't want it. They get scared by this word.
No, it's not that. It's scared of people coming in there robbing the church, and that's what they're scared of.
No, Go on.
What
1 Peter 4:11.
4:11.
Right.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 4:11.
Read
If
that.
any man speak,
Right.
let him speak as the oracles of God.
Right. If any man speak, let him come out of the Bible, because that's the oracle of God. We're not trying to hear no man's words and I feel this, that I feel spirit, or I believe it's somewhere in there, that spirit. We're not dealing with that. No, you can go.
Yeah, it's
that.
alright.
We're not dealing with that spirit, man. Read that from the top again.
1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 1. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
It's the oracles of God. Keep on.
If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth.
The ability God giveth him. Right?
That God in all things may be glorified through Hamashiach Yahushai, to whom be praised and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. So we got to speak, thus saith the Lord, man. We can't just be talking our own words like pastors doing there. He's going to read one verse and then he's going to start, oh yeah, God put on my spirit today to tell you about this, you know. And he just goes on rumbling on. I used to be sat in that church, I used to listen to him, man. It's an Edomite. And he's got a beard, he grows his beard. But I remember at one point he was saying that he was going to get a tattoo. And even before I came to the church, I was thinking, that sounds off. Surely God don't want us to get tattoos. And I didn't even know the Bible. I was like, surely God don't want us to get tattoos because we don't see man. But man was the pastor trying to get a tattoo. Give me Romans 10. Romans 10.
It's the book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 1.
Yeah, read that.
Brethren, My heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
Why is Paul still talking about Israel being saved? Why are we still doing this? Because the Most High is only dealing with us. He's using these other nations to chastise us until we wake up to who we are and start keeping the commandments. Yeah. Keep reading all the way down to like 4.
For I bear them record that they may have a zeal of God,
right?
But not according to knowledge.
Not according to knowledge. The brothers in there are so contentious. Like he knows something. I was saying that we're here to rebuke the church because you're not keeping the commandments. Oh, that will never happen. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're defending something you have no idea about. Go on, keep reading.
For they being ignorant of God's righteousness,
right,
and going about to establish their own righteousness.
You see that? Go on, read on.
Going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
They've not submitted themselves because they believe the way they do things is right. They believe how they're going about coming to church on Sundays, you know, shaving their heads, eating pork, whatever they want, you know. That's okay because they feel it's okay because they've been told it's okay. But that's not according to the Most High. That's not according to the scriptures. Go on, bring that on.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and 25.
Read that.
And it shall be our righteousness,
right,
if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as He hath commanded us.
As He hath commanded us, because that's how we become righteous. When we keep the commandments, we don't take anything we don't take anything within our body that's unclean. We don't eat pork. We don't eat crabs. We don't eat shrimps. We keep the Sabbath days, right? Because that's a holy day according to the Most High. A high holy day with that, right? Keep reading. I think you were was it 2 or 3?
No, 3. For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth.
You see that? So Christians would be like, oh yeah, you see that? Christ is the end of the law. So that means the law is done away with, right? But is that so? Is that so? Let's go to, I believe, go to Romans 2 and 31. That was for sure.
It's the book of Romans chapter 3 verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith?
Now is the law void now just because we got faith? Because Christ came with faith, so now the law is void? What's Paul saying?
God forbid.
God forbid, meaning hell no.
Yea, we established the law.
We established the law. Now that Christ given us faith, we actually keep the commandments now because we know we got grace. We're not going to get killed off for going off. But we need to repent and keep the commandments every time we go off. That's what Christ came to do. Right? Again, go to Romans 6 and 1.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Right?
What shall we say then?
Yeah.
Shall we continue in sin, that grace may abound?
So now, should we just keep sinning? Should we just keep eating pork? Should we just keep coming to church on Sundays? Should we keep shaving our beards, shaving our heads? Right? Shall we keep doing all sorts of wickedness because we got grace now? What is Paul saying about that?
God forbid.
Meaning hell no. Read on.
How shall we that are dead to sin,
how can we who are dead to sin now
live any longer therein?
We can't live in sin anymore. We can't live in sin anymore. So what up for that? I've got 2 more precepts and I'll pass it on. Give me Mark 7 and 8.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 8.
Read that. 7.
Mark chapter 7 verse 8.
Come on, bring that out.
For laying aside the commandments of God, ye hold the traditions of men.
The tradition of men.
As the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do.
And many other such like things we used to do, and they still do. Like coming to church on Sundays. Right? Like not eating shrimp, crabs, and lobster. Because apparently it's okay now.
Christ got rid of the laws.
Yeah. So we can eat human flesh if we must. Right? Elephants, lion, nothing is off limits. With that logic, bat suit, that's the the Moabites thing. We got to teach more. You can't be eating that. That's off. We got to teach the so-called white man. Bacon is off. Pigs are off. They eat whatever you put in front of it. Right.
Yeah, trotters.
We got to teach our people the same because our people love that. So off, man. Even Christmas. Go to Jeremiah 10. This is the last precept. Jeremiah 10 and 3. Christmas.
Book of Jeremiah chapter 10.
Wicked as hell.
Start at 2.
Come on.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathens.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right? Because they love looking at the stars and, the universe sent you to me, or are you a Taurus? Are you a Gemini? Oh, we can't get on because you're a Taurus, I'm a Gemini. We don't clash.
There's a new black hole in the sky.
Right. Like what? How have you discovered that? Go on, read on.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Vain. Read on.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Right.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
Go on.
They are upright as palm trees, but speak not.
Right.
They must needs be born, because they cannot go.
Go on.
But not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil.
Right.
Neither also is it in them to do good.
Right. You see that? You see that? That's plain up on table. That's talking about that Christmas tree. That wicked Christmas tree. You get me? It's off.